I disconnected the stream right as I was starting because I forgot to change the internet before I started. LMAO. So that's fun. Got my wrist brace, which is very sexy of me to do, I think. I literally no idea what we're gonna be doing today, but god damn it, if I'm gonna fucking stream, you know what I mean? Like, holy shit. Listen, I was going strong for 2 whole days. Circumstances just say I'm not meant to stream lately. I don't know why. Whether it be fucking how tired I am or what the fuck ever pisses me off though. Anyway, I have sweet. Many options on what we could do. I don't know if we'll be doing any of them. But for now, I guess we'll just sit here. And there's no shame in this, I think. I have been down for the count all day, haven't done jack shit, so I'm glad to finally be doing something, at least. It is kind of late, though, and it is kind of sudden. I should probably advertise better. Hold on. I am a dumbass. And I forgot to copy paste my tweet before I started. So we'll do, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. Well, yes it fucking is. God damn it. Okay, so there's that. Copy paste the whole thing. Put everyone else. Streams. Up. I'm an awesome pixel. Put myself. And okay. So, I guess. Thank you! They're so fucking. They're so stupid. I got something in my eye right as I put them on, which is really funny. I never wear them. Thank you for noticing. You're right, I am literally so sexy. I just never wear them because I don't wear sunglasses. I use them as a headband because I'm a gay person. Which I think is really funny. But thank you. I do that often, honestly, where I wear sunglasses for fashion instead of normal people things, like blocking my eyes from the sun. I did actually put them on in the car once, which is good, because that's what they should be used for. That's just not what I use them for, which is fine. But man, it almost feels dumb to be streaming this late. But you're right. You're right. I mean, if they weren't for fashion, why would they be so sexy? You know? I hope you can't hear anything that's going on screen. Because I'm on Twitter right now. For, like, literally no reason. I'll just mute it. Whoops. My bad. Okay, sweet. That was on me. I think I probably should have gotten it small. Or cut it or something. Because arguably it needs to go in the middle. It feels stupid. That's fine. The other one was huge and ugly. And honestly, putting it on correctly didn't help at all. Like, I tried it on the left one and put it on my right hand because we didn't read it. And it helped more because the, like, board, I guess, was on this side, which it's supposed to be on top. So I got the right-handed one, and the board, or the support junk, was on the top, and I didn't like that. It didn't help. Splint, thank you. But now I have this, and it sucks. And I hate having it on. It's annoying. Like, I don't... But whatever. It's fine, I guess. So... Thank you. I'm glad you think so. Oh my god. The Letterboxd Twitter account, my beloved. So it's for The Quiet Place Part 2. So you're telling me that in this doleful dystopic world, one of their primary forms of salvageable, non-perishable foods is canned beans, and no one in the family is farting on impact. Not to mention Miss Emily Postpartum Poppins simply must be letting those queefs out. And Cillian Murphy, I know that man shorts. This can't really be that quiet of a place. That's so funny. I love Letterboxd. You know what? I'm getting on and we're reading Letterboxd reviews. Because, god damn it, that's the funniest shit ever. I'm not as funny as some of these people, and it pisses me off. Okay. What movie? Men in Black? That's a fun movie. Twilight? Okay. You forced my hand. Now we're talking. This one isn't even funny, it's just sad. My mom forced me to watch this and then quoted the entire thing and then started crying because she didn't have someone like Edward, and I told her that the relationship was actually really abusive. And she said, "Sweetie, I know me and your dad got divorced because of this movie, and now she's running around the house looking for something to eat. Please save me." What? Twilight. Which is worse than any other movie it could have been. I watched Breaking Dawn earlier. You know what? I'll log that right now. Log. Apparently. Okay. What? Breaking Dawn Part 2. Specify the date I watched it today. I've also watched this film. No, I haven't, technically. Okay. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. And I'm gonna like it, because I do enjoy this movie. Carlisle. Yes! Okay, that's it. Carlisle. Yes. Yes. Okay. That's it. That's the review. I have other reviews, but they're all equally stupid. I try to be funny, but it doesn't always go well. For example, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies on here. So my first one was Detroit. Well, it wasn't my first one. I reviewed Old first. But this is the first one in like the chronological order because you can date the movie or whatever. I said this movie made me homophobic. Ugh, heart eyes, can't wait to watch it for the 5th time. Because I'm super funny and hilarious as well. And then the next one is White House Down. Literally loved this movie. No thoughts, brain empty, only men with gun movie, 5 stars. And then I liked a couple of reviews. One of them was, my God, if this isn't the romantic comedy of the year. And that's another really good review on that movie. And then, for being such a patriotic nation, Americans sure do love movies where their shit gets blown up by terrorists, huh? And they're right. I do love when shit blows up. So good. And then I reviewed Fantastic Mr. Fox. And this one was kind of boring. I didn't get funny with it. I just said that it was a visually very interesting movie. Plot was kind of weird, but the whole movie was kind of weird. An excellent watch, 4 stars. Into the Woods. This was very frustrating to watch. Like, everything was fixed and then unfixed. The songs were lackluster. I like musicals from time to time, but these songs didn't hit for me, to be honest. But the biggest sin was that they killed Emily Blunt's character without discussing her infidelity. Even if they wanted her to die, at least reveal the infidelity to the baker. It was lazy writing and it pissed me off so bad. But otherwise, it was okay for like the first hour. But once the giant showed up, it was just shit. And that, you know. And then Old, I went off. About that one. I won't even read it. It's ridiculous how much I said about that one. And then my mom and I watched Angels and Demons, and I said, the Carmelenko is kind of a baddie. Drool emoji, 2 hearts emoji. His villain monologue made me come. And that's so funny. I'm literally hilarious. And then live on screen I did Breaking Dawn, which was Carlisle or whatever. I'm hilarious. The Jungle Cruise is out. I forgot about that. Have I watched? I have not, but I could look it up. Of course. I feel like I'd be horny for the people in that movie too. Oh, there's more than one. Which are we talking? 1986 or 2008? I guess there's a 2007. There's a lot of them on here. Which one's the sexy one? Little Shop of Horrors. The one with Rick Moranis? I don't know. I don't know which one. Okay. The 86 one is the Rick Moranis one. That's good. I like the Rick Moranis one. Not that I've seen any of the ones, but still. Oh, Rick Moranis. So this one has an overall 3.8, which is interesting. Good for this movie. This was fucking wild. I can't believe I just watched Steve Martin fuck Bill Murray on a dentist chair. 5 stars. Rick Moranis walked so Fred Armisen could run. I don't know what that means. I've seen this movie more times than I've seen my own father. Everyone seems to like her. The greatest remake ever, the best Rick Moranis film there's ever been. All other musicals pale into insignificance. Sorry. People keep like advertising their podcasts on here, which is really funny. I do want to see it. I don't know why I haven't yet. This movie has a very unsubtle commentary on the nature of sexual sadomasochism between the non-consensual or at least abused and therefore unable to understand how to say no relationship off which the sadist experiences far more pleasure, and the excitedly consensual one-night stand off which the masochist receives the most pleasure to the frustration of the sadist. My point is, my mom was very on board with this movie until Steve Martin and Bill Murray started having aggressive gay sex. Better Than Hamilton was the next one directly after that. Many thoughts on this movie. Not enough Steve Martin. Audrey and Seymour invented love. Was Bill Murray's small role as a masochist with a dentist kink necessary in this movie? No. Am I glad it was included? Yes. What? What is going on in this movie? like, I don't have any context to anything that's being said here, so I'm really confused. One of the most movies of all time. Oh my god, weirdest episode of Portlandia I've ever seen. Can't wait for Chris Evans to play the dentist. I mean, it's just this was way too similar to 50 Shades of Grey. I'm going to go look at the 50 Shades of Grey reviews. Goodbye. Yes. I'm literally a genius. Nobody worry about it. Go. Okay. Someone listed all 50 Shades. Okay. I'm not even gonna bother reading that. Joshua pointed out, how the fuck does she not know what butt plugs are with her 4.0 GPA? Good for her. Spoilers. 50 Shades of Grey, Anastasia's a little nervous about losing her virginity to a mysterious billionaire. They sometimes have missionary sex. 2 movies later, Rita Ora is abducted by Anastasia's stalker who tries to kill Anna and her baby 2 times after trying to run her off the road and steal $5 million from her. What's going on? 50 Shades of Cringe. Thank God I'm a lesbian. I don't know, bad? Tommy Wiseau and Lisa had more chemistry than these two. Yes! Tommy Wiseau, yes! That's so funny. 10 out of 10 would wank in the theater again. That's so funny. $50 Shades of Mom, I'm really sorry for watching this. I will stick to Disney films in the future. Anna must have a WAP, LMAO. He was really desperate. Yeah, good for him. And that's all it says. That's my favorite review. Well, happy 9:05, everybody. A little earlier than usual. Don't worry about it. It's none of your business. That is a good answer. I can't fap to this. 1.5 stars? 50 Shades of Goodnight. A movie so goofy I thought I was watching Max and his dad go on a road trip. Didn't answer the question I sent you before, by the way. And you're gonna confront me about it live? So mean. So mean. I don't know is the problem. I didn't answer because I didn't have any ideas. Asshole. Fun fact, I don't dislike this movie 3 stars. This would have received an extra half star if you got to see Jamie Dornan's peen. Why is that so funny? It's the way it's worded. Thank you. Thank you, Rob Trench. The soundtrack is pretty good. I don't know why that's so funny. It's like out of everything you could say about the movie, it's like the soundtrack pretty good. Oh my god, this one's so long. BDSM equals being dead sounds magnificent. This fucking sucked. I'm 50 Shades of fucked up. Honestly, name a more iconic line. I fucking dare you, mate. Half star. So I saw this and I immediately went home and puked up a lot of blood. I had to go to the hospital, guys. I'm not even joking either. That really happened. Stay away from this movie. And let me know that ending. Save Dakota. I love you, Dakota. Hit me up, please. We hang sometime. Please. Literally not a single person liked this movie, which is really funny to me. I was in 1.8 stars. It's the average. I remember when it came out and I was in like 8th grade, I think. So the soundtrack was really big on the radio at the moment. It was I think a Weekend song, and then shit. Let me Google the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack, because that would be. Man, yeah, it was The Weeknd and Ellie Goulding, and Beyonce. It was Crazy in Love, but it was 2014. It was a remix. There was another Weeknd song on here. There's also Frank Sinatra. Yeah, the soundtrack on this was wild. Another Beyonce song. Did That Hurt by Danny Elfman. Thank you, Danny Elfman. We appreciate you, King. She was an old. Anyway. Films directed by woman. Thank you, woman. I think so. I think, can I get like a... I think Earned It was made for 50 Shades. Like I'm pretty sure it was written for this song. I'm sorry, this movie, which really sucks. Cause it's a good song. I like the song, and I do remember liking "Love Me Like You Do" as well. Yeah, "Love Me Like You Do" was another specific song to the soundtrack. I mean, it's by The Weeknd. I don't think you really like them very much, so that's understandable. It was, and I know you probably didn't listen to the radio either, but back in the tender year of 2015, it was pretty big on the radio. Earned it. I don't know if that's the one I was talking about. Were you talking about Love Me Like You Do? Because you probably haven't heard that one either. You don't listen to music. I love you. So I love you so much. Okay, I'm snapping. I'm looking at the Luca reviews. My god, these fish is gay. Good for them. You certainly don't. And there's no shame in this. 4.0. Kind of cringe. Should be 5. More. I want shorter Pixar movies with less ambitious stories filled with likable characters who vibe more and do less. I'm not kidding. Hey, my fishy son, why you no wanna live under the sea, eh? Why you wanna see one Vespa, now you're too good for the ocean? Oh! That was really fun. It is. It was made for the movie. They were both made for the movie. According to the Wikipedia articles that I read about them both. The Sopranos is so cool. I wish Italians were real. Did it? Hold on. Let me relook. The soundtrack was preceded by... Okay, I'm sorry. They were... okay. The soundtrack was preceded... So they were both made before the movie and they just slapped on there, I guess. The soundtrack was preceded by the release of 2 singles. Earned It, performed by The Weeknd, was released as the album's lead single on December 23rd, 2014. Peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was released and was included on his second album, Beauty Behind the Madness. Ellie Goulding's Love Me Like You Do was released as a second single on January 7th, 2015. It released... So the song... So I guess it sounds like they were both written for the movie before... I mean, they were released before the movie. For the movie. They were like, hey, check out this song I made for 50 Shades of Grey. And everyone was like, yeah! Yes, thank you, The Weeknd, yes! And we all listened to it, and we all loved it. Also, I found this Luca review that states, Disney, it's time to come out of the closet. I understand you're worried about how your family, Russia and China, will perceive you. It's totally fair that you are concerned about them cutting you off. But you have friends that will support you. Friends that you have led along for years now, most especially since Frozen. Friends who believe that you have intentions that you will live to your truest self. I have to say, someone in your position coming out would certainly be an action rife for discourse, inspiring those who have done or wish to do the same. Also, though, a magnet for derision for those opposed. But your cries for aid are becoming unmistakable. Luca features 2 young boys who are quite literally liberated through each other while disguising their true selves from this society. It also depicts a girl that once would have been dubbed a tomboy, but whom we now know is rather pressing the boundaries of expectation for straight female representation. Your friends see this. They understand you. But to perpetually allude to identity association without public commitment only perpetuates fear in those wanting to do the same. If you, with your ice princesses and Vespa-riding mermen, are so afraid of being exiled and hated, what is What hope is there for those without that speck of pixie dust? There was so much going on there. I get what they're saying, but it's not that deep. Chill. Also, yes, that is weird. The music thing, I assume, is what you're talking about. Another great addition to the Fish People cinematic universe. I don't want a hot girl summer, I want a hot sea monster summer. Excellent take, excellent take. Hello, I would like to book a vacation to whatever town in Italy this is set in. I'm sorry for your loss. We are so... We're waterlogged here. I live in the swamp. Not these gay little fish boys making me cry right in the middle of Pride Month. Oh yeah, I love that Timothy guy. Oh no. People keep comparing it to Call Me By Your Name and I might kill someone. Italian gays crying at the train station cinematic universe. Happy Pride Month to Luca and Alberto. This made me so hungry for pasta. I guess in the end, the movie is just fine. Wow. Evil. Man, some people, like, list Pixar movies ranked. They're right. Well, not correct, but Inside Out is a little too high for me. But it goes. Number 1, Ratatouille. They have me so far. Number 2, The Incredibles. Also a very good movie, probably wouldn't put it that high. Number 3, Inside Out. Number 4, Soul. That movie sucked. That movie was shit. You know what? I'm gonna read Soul reviews since it basically asked. 4.1. Interestingly enough. I need like bad reviews. I just didn't like it. There was a lot I just didn't like about the movie. It was written very poorly. It didn't feel like the two main characters ever managed to set up a camaraderie solid enough to carry the film. Underwhelming Pixar film. You know what? Fair enough. Weakest Pixar I've ever seen. Fair enough. A lot of people really liked it, which I don't understand. It was just not good. Now, I did twice. And I honestly, the first time I watched it, I was extremely disappointed. I was like, wow, this movie sucked. And then I was like, okay, because my family wanted to watch it, so I was like, okay, I'll watch it a second time, and hopefully it'll be better. It wasn't. Because I was like, maybe I'm being too hypercritical of the movie, because sometimes I do that. When I see it the first time, it was still pretty bad. from what I remember about it, because I have forgotten quite a bit of it, because I watched it, twice when it came out, but it's been a bit since then. When was it? Yeah, it was reviewed. It was made last year. Apparently, Daveed Diggs is in it, which I didn't know. It's by P. Doctor. Like, it was directed by P. Doctor, so I don't really like any of the shit, to be honest. Okay, I take it back. I fucking take it back. He did Up, which I loved, and then Monsters, Inc. He fell off after Inside Out. Everything was shit after that. But Soul... It was... One of the reviews kind of had it when it said that they didn't vibe well enough for it to be like a good buddy thing or whatever. Because Pixar movies are very good. Well, Disney/Pixar is very good about buddy movies. Like, Cars, they jived. Monsters, Inc., they jived. And then technically Ratatouille, they vibed. Coco, they had two people, they vibed. Toy Story, they vibed. Finding Nemo, vibed. Onward, vibed. Like they have two characters that get along really well. Up, another vibe. Luca, delicious. Vibed. Good Dinosaur was shit. I can't believe it's... Anyway. But Soul was... It was just bad. Because it was so... Not only was it like... So there's movies, for example, Princess and the Frog, who take a black main character and then make them into an animal, sort of dehumanizing them over the course of the movie because you start to relate the character to the animal more than you do the human person. And so in Princess and the Frog, she's a frog for a good, 99% of the movie, making you think of her as the frog more than her as the person. And Soul did the exact same thing, except he was on screen for, a decent amount of time, which is where the difference lies. However, even though he was on screen, he wasn't him for a good chunk of the movie. It was actually 22, which was the little soul that he was helping out or whatever. So Soul was in his body, and he was in the body of the cat for a pretty good chunk of the movie. The movie overall was just very quick. It was too quick. They didn't develop anything fast enough for it to have really been viable, arguably. I don't remember a lot of why I didn't like it, because it was pretty forgettable since I forgot it so fast. Like, I could tell you exactly what I didn't like about Toy Story 4, and I saw that even earlier than I saw Soul. Because Toy Story 4 came out before movie theaters shut down. Onward was the last movie I saw in theaters, and I saw Toy Story 4 before that. So, I can tell you exactly why I didn't like Toy Story 4, because it was a memorable movie. It was gorgeous to look at, and, very distinct in terms of the 4 Toy Story movies. But Soul? Apparently I couldn't tell you a single thing that's wrong with it, even though I saw it more recently. Honestly, fair. Don't see it. I hated it. And I will defend the Toy Story series until I die, but only up until the 3rd movie. The first 3 movies were the pinnacle, because it was the perfect development of Woody's character, because Woody was the main character. I know Buzz is there, but he's not the main character, arguably. Sort of there's a word for it, but I don't remember the word. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hold on. Show me how to pronounce it. Deuteragonist. Thank you, Google. Um, but sort of like that, where it's it's the main character, the protagonist, and then the deuteragonist, which is just the second person who is significant, just not the main character. You know what I mean? Somebody used the example of Anna and Elsa, and Anna's the main character, but Elsa's the deuteragonist. I already forgot how to pronounce it. Doesn't matter. But she's very significant. She's just not the main character. Even though she's the promotional material, whatever. But Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. The first one was his fear of being replaced. And then his second one was the realization that no matter how hard he tries, despite how he doesn't want... So, like, he comes to terms with the fact that he might be replaced in the first movie. And that's sort of like step one. My friend and I have discussed this before, and my God, I'm gonna... That's really funny. Anna's boring, though. She's funnier, she's just more boring. Because Anna has ice powers, so all the kids are like, yes! Ice powers! And gayness! But the whole... Okay, it is of my opinion that the Toy Story movies are about Woody's ego and loyalty. Because in the first one, he's insecure about being replaced by Buzz. So that's his ego. And his... You got him there. But so, it's the ego versus loyalty, so he's egocentric. The first one isn't necessarily his loyalty to Andy, but his loyalty does come about later on in the movies. But the first one is mostly his ego. He's like, he learns that his ego isn't the most important thing, it's his loyalty to Andy. And then in the second one, it's him trying to be loyal to Andy, but realizing that Andy won't be loyal to him later on because he will be gotten rid of, sold, given away, etc. So his ego prevents him from wanting to be loyal because he wants to be loved, because that helps inflate his ego. And then the third one is him finally deciding that despite him not being as significant to Andy as Andy is significant to him, he does need to help Andy out in as good a way as he can. Because Andy is his person and he's supposed to be. So he finally lets go of his ego and decides to, man, what the fuck was I saying? The third one. So he goes back and helps out his, fellow toys or whatever. Because he's loyal to them, because he wants to be loyal to Andy. So he's telling them, hey, no, we don't belong in the daycare. We belong with Andy because Andy was going to save us in the attic or whatever for, like, his future children or whatever. But Andy chose Woody to go with him to college. And he does, in the end, make the decision to go with the rest of his friends. Because he realizes that despite his loyalty to Andy, Andy doesn't need him anymore, and he can be loyal to another toy. Which is another example of him letting go of his ego and choosing loyalty instead, because his ego was in fact boosted by the fact that he was chosen to go to college with Andy, but he, chooses to, his loyalty shifts from Andy to his friends because he probably conflates the two a little bit. And then the fourth movie just messes all of that up. Because if it ended with the third movie, it essentially would have implied that the cycle started over. And he would have been loyal to a fault to Bonnie instead. And offered his toy services or whatever as like a companion and pal to help get Bonnie through life along with his friends who he is also loyal to. So he grew and developed from an egotistical, evil, kind of yucky character to watch to someone very charismatic and caring of his friends. And then in the fourth movie, he gives it all up for a woman. and that's fine. But it just bothers me because Bo Peep has, her character has shifted over the course of the films. Because in the first and second one, she was just kind of like a side lady character that Woody liked. And that was all she was. She wasn't interesting. She wasn't there for very long. She was just a woman and a very small love interest for Woody, and that was it. However, it was, and I get that it kind of sucks that that was all that she was there for, but honestly, fine. But then they decide to flesh out her personality even more in the fourth one, which would have been fine, except they kind of, there was no evidence of her being like this big, strong female character in the first two movies. And that's fine. I'm gonna be honest, that's fine. Not all lady characters need to be strong, independent women, okay? They can be women, you know? They can be feminine and emotional, you know? But, and I'm not saying that she necessarily was in the first two, because she didn't have any personality. She was just there to be a love interest for Woody, and that was it. But in the fourth movie, she was like, oh, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, Bo Peep, now. And she still has, like, feminine qualities, like, she still has the feminine lady look about her. But she did turn into one of those, like, only women should be allowed to write women characters. I'm gonna say it. Because men are like, oh, you want a strong female character? And then take it too far. You know what I mean? Where they make them too masculine and, like, unfeeling. And you can have emotions and be feminine at the same time. And she just was sort of closed off in that movie. Like, she still, like, liked Woody and all that. But it was just, I don't know. I'm very complex about the Toy Story franchise, and I do wholeheartedly believe the fourth one should have never existed. Especially considering the way it ended, because him and Woody and Buzz just separate, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Not the greatest duo, the most developed friendship ever. Not most developed friendship ever, but like one of the best, like, on-screen friend, because in the first one, they hated each other. Well, Buzz didn't know any better. But Woody hated Buzz, and Buzz just kind of didn't like Woody because he was being an asshole to Buzz. So it was only fair. And then in the second one, it was, Buzz went to go save Woody. And Woody is like, no thanks, I don't need saving, this is what I want to do. And then Buzz is like, okay, if this is what you want to do, that's fine. And then Woody comes back, and Buzz is like, oh my god, hard eyes, that's my boy right there. And then in the third movie, their relationship isn't as on screen as it was in the first two, which is a little unfortunate, and probably my main beef about the movie, because I honestly would have loved to see their relationship continue to develop, but it's very clear that in the third movie, they are very close and trust each other a lot, and want to get through this as homies, you know, because they end up together in the end. Like, Woody, instead of going to college, chooses to stay with Buzz and the rest. instead of going with Andy, which he still had the opportunity to do. He could have separated, but instead he decided to stick around with the dude who he hated at the beginning of the franchise. And then in the end, they separate, which fucking sucks. And I hate the fourth movie. It made me cry so hard. I was so mad. But somebody pointed out that Disney and Pixar have just been doing that lately. They've just been separating sets of two. Like in Frozen 2, Anna and Elsa separated. Because Elsa went to go stay with the Northuldra tribe instead of leading Chrysanthemum or town or whatever. And then in Wreck-It Ralph, Ralph Breaks the Internet, that movie was ass. They separate at the end. Breaking the cardinal rule of the first movie, I might add. Because in the first Wreck-It Ralph movie, it was like, don't go turbo or whatever, which was essentially exiting your own game to enter another game to be the main character. That was like the syndrome and the like general villain quality of the first one. But you want to know exactly what Vanellope did? That, where she was like, I hate my game. I'm going to go to a different one. And then went to a different game, exactly like Turbo did in the first one. So that one was just bad because it broke the rule that it set in the first one for the sake of the second one's plot. And then they separated the two main characters for this plot as well. Which was dumb. It was a pretty movie. Like, I liked the character designs. Like, the two... I think her name was Yes. It was like the YouTube-like queen or whatever. And then the racing lesbian. The car girl main character from the one game or whatever. So, yeah. I have much to say and think about in terms of movies. I would love to exit out of this tab. Please. And thank you. Thanks. Dude, if you sit me down in front of the movie, I will have something to say about it, and it will be lengthy and stupid. That's what I like to call mental illness. Honestly, so this list that I have in front of me at this very moment is a ranked list of Pixar movies, and I hate it. This list, bogus. So I went through the first four, as I said. Oh, you watched the short, I keep it. Oh, no, I have not seen it. Is it long? Or, how long? So you can watch it if you wanted. Because otherwise I will continue to... Okay. What is it titled, my man? I guess I better put my headphones on. Sweet! That is very sexy of you. Oh my god, Curtis Connor played Stardew Valley. That's so sexy. Thank you, Curtis. My beloved. After this, though, I'm probably gonna get off. I haven't had dinner yet. And I ate at 11 this morning. And I'm hungry. So. I will after this short film that you said you'd send. Instagram. Interesting. Glad you came. Yeah, I got the Instagram thingy. The loop thing I got. I forgot that I put that on there. I never post on Instagram. Okay, I just want one thing, and it is exit out of this thing. Haha, found it. Can I can lengthen it. Also turn on the captions. Okay, I will do this. Let me move that back over. Oh, it's only 4 minutes, but closed captions are on. And I am fixing this. Sweet. And I need to turn on the audio. Hopefully it isn't too loud or too quiet, so let me know. Oh damn, stuff got serious. Oh no, my new pen's got ready. What is going on? Just hanging out. I haven't, no. It makes me sad, because it walks like a person. You Cubby Doggy, yay! That's so sad. Oh my god, it's Doggy. Good for him. We use super active fans. That's really funny. Ah. Let's get its ass. Get its ass. You're right. You're absolutely correct. I didn't like that. I mean, he won in the end, but I didn't like watching it. Because it just made me sad. It's dumb. Because it's not human. But it was shaped human enough. And acted human enough for it to bother me. Because it was bipedal. So I was like, Because I wouldn't want animals to be treated like that either. And it, And the dog, like, it was a dog. So I was like, why would you shoot doggy? The animations were mocap. Oh, the CGI thing? Yeah. Man, if that shit were real, the robot shooting the like the mannequins or whatever, you'd have to be really trustworthy of those robots. Like that scared me. I was like, ooh. Especially the bag over the face one, because you couldn't tell. That one made me nervous. I was like, ooh, hold on. Slow down. Okay. Well, I went for an hour. And that's all I can ask for. These days, it seems. I got death threaded and hate crimed. Hell yeah, I did an hour. And you know what? The hate crime added like a half an hour by default because that was fun. I banned him as a treat. Took me a second because I was busy talking about Toy Story. I've reported him? Thank you. Yeah, I just banned him. Like, fuck that. Why bother? Why do you care? Get out of here. Well, anyway. Maybe I should report him as well. Death Adder. I will. Blocked is good as well. I'm gonna complain on Twitter about it, as I deserve. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. It's gonna be a pain in the ass on my numbers. I just got back up to 3.1 average viewers. Answer my question. I will. As soon as I get off. But, and, of course, complain on Twitter about that guy. You did. Ew. What is this? There we go. Oh, I forgot you can scroll when it's full screen. Ugh, I hate that. Anyway. So thank you for coming. My beloved. I would die for you. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Hopefully. I feel like with the brace, I'll probably be able to do shit. So, that'll be fun. I didn't want to do anything because I wasn't going to stream for very long anyway. So, thank you for coming. I will see you later or in your DMs.